That was weird.
That was weird. Let's get out of it now. Yeah, that was not a good idea.
Could be weirder.
Yeah, we got him here. He'll never be back.
Hey everybody, welcome on into the Big Access Podcast. My name is Brock Benson. I'm your host and the Director of Marketing over here. And today is a very cool day because it's the first time we've actually had 3 people on the podcast at once. We've been very good at doing 2 people, but today we're pushing the limits. So this is going to be fun. We've got Brad Baldwin over here. He's the VP of Product. And sandwiched between us, we've got Matt Murdoch with Alpine Communications, he's a dealer. So thank you for
welcome, Matt.
It's a big deal. Matt is here today to talk to us a little bit more about who Alpine Communications is, but then also specifically about his experience in our AUX 8 beta period that we just got through. So as you guys know, the AUX 8 is now out and it's now available. It is on shelves at distribution. So hopefully today's episode will be a little bit more educational about the purposes and the use cases that an AUX 8 will be used on in your installations. So we'll go from there and talk a little bit more about it. But before we dive into the AUX 8, I want to learn more about Matt and about Alpine Communications so that you guys can see, some of the use case scenarios that access control can be installed.
Yeah. So Alpine Communications, we do residential and residential and commercial low voltage. So on the residential side, do a lot of home theaters, home automation, network, just the whole gamut of low voltage. And then on the commercial side, we do a lot of network infrastructure. We're providing the security, we're providing all of the Wi-Fi in a small office, medium office building, assisted living, dentist's office, medical plaza, all that kind of thing, small commercial projects. And we were already doing a lot of that low voltage. Access control wasn't one of the things that we were doing. And so we were typically working with other access control contractors on these projects. And so PDK made it pretty easy. You're all network based. And so it was, spoke our language, was easy for us to figure out, great sales and tech support. So it was easy for us to dip our toes into access control. We've been doing access control for like 5 years now. So it works great for us because now on a project, we're doing pretty much all of the low voltage rather than us not being in control of some things and some other things. So it makes it easier for us to provide our clients with, the best experience possible when we're managing the full breadth of low voltage.
Do you find that it is, in that situation, since you guys have picked up access control, instead of having to subcontract that out to other partners in the area, do you feel like you already said that that's easier for you, but do you feel like that's also easier on your end user?
Oh, for sure, because most of our clients are reaching out to us first anyways, and then that's always an awkward conversation. Like, I'd love to solve this problem for you, but I literally can't, so let me call someone else, wait for them to hear back, and then so we're like a middleman in all of that. Right? That's how we've grown our business. Is just, we don't do any advertising. It's just repeat customers, word of mouth, referrals, and so what we really try to do is try to make that experience best we can. And having us provide the access control solution just gives us the ability to solve those problems quicker.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
and that's huge. And so because of your experiences that you've had, installing PDK and been a successful partner with PDK, that kind of opened the door to being able to help out with testing future products to make sure that they work and that they are delivering that same simple to install, same great user experience that the rest of our products have. And so we just launched our AUX 8 and we had a beta period. How long ago was that beta period, Brad?
We started it in the fall and kind of wrapped it up about end of year, to be honest.
So with that, we developed this new input-output board that is, it's not your average input-output board, right? It's got 8 different relays. It's got 8 different inputs, so you can go ahead and monitor a bunch of different things. You can go ahead and control different devices with either wet contacts or dry contacts with it. But Brad, talk to us a little bit more about what that AUX 8 is and what you guys developed that to be.
Yeah, the AUX 8 is, as I said in a previous podcast, it's kind of like a Swiss Army knife, right? You can have that thing on the truck, and when you go to an install, it'll get you out of a problem almost anytime you run into a problem. So it's a good thing to have. But I think We wanted to be able to make it easy to scale elevators, and that was one of the common use cases that people asked for this product. We built it all on the red product line, kind of the controller look and feel, and same architecture. And so it feels very natural in that whole ecosystem. In fact, some people were using R8s for some of the solutions that you can now use the Aux 8 for instead.
Yeah.
So this is just a nice way to be able to extend the solution, a little bit different price point. It doesn't give you, all of the stuff that the controller gives, but gives you a lot of functionality. From the beta perspective, one of the things that I found with working with you, Matt, is you wanted to be able to kind of put this thing into an environment where you could kind of play with other systems. So one of your main abilities in your business is being able to tie things together. And tell us about how the Aux 8 kind of helped you guys build out and tie things together.
Yeah, that's one of the interesting things. What reasons I was interested in it is it seemed like it was a very cost-effective solution rather than using an R8 and kind of wasting all of that power, right? And so that's why I was interested in being able to have more flexible solutions. So one of the specific use cases that I wanted to look at with the R8 was integrating other devices, whether that's some garage doors. We're already, doing the security system at for example, a small office building will do 3 or 4 doors, but we're also doing, the network infrastructure. We're also doing the camera system, all of that. And I've got requests multiple times of, hey, I'm already credentialing in with PDK, and then I've got to walk through the door, and then there's a beep, and then it tells me you have 30 seconds to disarm the alarm. And then I got to go type in the same or a different code there. So what can we do to streamline that? So that's one of the things I wanted to try out with the Aux 8 is just, it's relays. We use relays in lots of aspects of our business. And so that was one of the first use cases I wanted to look at is, okay, can I program PDK to say, okay, if there's a valid credential presented, close that circuit, tell my alarm system, we use Claire controls, we use Elk, we use some others. All of those have the ability to basically take a contact and tell it to do whatever, right? That's most security automation systems. You just tell me what to do and then I'll do this. And so that's what we wanted to do. We used an Aux 8. We wanted to also try it out with, you were gracious enough to give me a PoE module to try it out, right? We're already doing PoE+, PoE++. We're doing APs, we're doing cameras, we're doing lots of things that are already using PoE. And so in an instance, especially if it's after the fact, we've already got extra, we always run extra communication cable. So that was great. We used PoE+ to power our the Aux 8. We were able to run a cable to a wireless sensor that worked with our alarm system. Reached out to support. Dylan Sharp helped me really fast figure that out. Yeah. He's like, oh yeah, we can do that. Haven't done it before, but we can figure that out.
There we go.
Should work.
Reached out to, in this instance, it was Claire Controls out of Florida that we were using that system. And they said, we haven't done that before, but should work. So, they helped me on that answer. Got a wireless sensor that basically just normally closed to open, really straightforward. So when PDK closes that circuit off of the R8 or the Aux 8, it tells this wireless sensor, hey, circuit status has changed. And then we have that programmed to basically generate a 4-digit PIN in the alarm system.
Oh wow!
Did exactly what our client the request was. So if certain people, you've got groups in PDK, only a certain group within all of those groups has that ability. Don't help me set that up. So it's a rule in the group that if this particular group, if their credentials posted and the alarm is set, or then it closes the circuit and then it tells the alarm system, if the alarm is armed, disarm it. So it did exactly what we wanted.
Simple inputs, outputs, if this, then that.
Yeah, and that's easy because that's what everyone in this field, that's their language, right?
Yeah.
Open and closed circuits. Yeah. It doesn't matter if you're integrating a 25-year-old Elk system. We've got clients that we've had alarms that we've hardly touched in 25 years. We could integrate that just as easy as it is a wireless new system.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? And so that shows just a little bit of the capability there. There's a lot more that the Aux8 can deliver and has a lot of potential to be able to do. Brad, you mentioned elevators earlier, and that's the same thing, right? You're just wiring this up as a dry contact into one of the into one of these relays, right? You take any 2-conductor wire from the elevator control panel, tie that into the Aux8, you put that into common and normally closed, and no jumpers, and you're set. And that's going to be able to then be programmed within the software to be a trigger for that floor. So when somebody comes into the elevator and they scan their badge, it will then unlock the button for that floor that they need to gain access to. So it's a very simple way to be able to control who's got access to certain floors.
Yep.
Other things that are popular with it, door
I was
position
going to say
sensors.
door position
right?
sensor is probably the biggest one, because it may be a case where you just want to monitor a door, but you don't actually have control on that door.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, right? And it gives you a chance to see in the interface what's going on. It allows you to put automation behind that, create a system event, give me notification, do things.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of flexibility.
So Matt, you and I were talking just a little bit earlier before we started doing this podcast about a installation that you're doing up in Alaska for senior care centers, right? Do you see scenarios where they would want doors to be monitored, letting you know if they're open or closed, but not necessarily have a full level of access control applied to those doors?
Oh, absolutely. Especially even with, nice thing about a door position sensor is there's a lot of flexibility. Basic security is this door open? But then how long is this door open, right?
Yeah.
Maybe set off a prop alarm or a piezo or something like that. And that really gives you lots of flexibility. But there's also lots of other sensors that are in use in facilities like that. And it's great. I don't have to sell them a full controller just for some basic door or other sensor information. One of the other things I'm really interested to try out this fall is we'll occasionally do a system with some delayed egress where, for example, there's like a Von Duprin basically an all-in-one that's delayed egress system. So that is what's powering the mag. That's what's powering the strike. That's what's powering everything else. And so on some of those facilities, I've taken what at the time was an 8IO, and I'm just basically using relays to interact with that door. Right? It's getting 24 volt voltage from a whole different system. All I'm doing is just telling the door, unlock for 3 seconds, unlock for 15 seconds, and then be done. So that's a good value proposition for me to be able to offer my customers. Hey, here's your delayed egress system that's kind of sort of standalone, but then we get to add the advantages of PDK and a cloud interface and something that's easy enough that your facilities manager, who's not very tech friendly, they can manage that. And Aux8's perfect for that, right? I can have 5-6 doors that all have delayed egress mags. And then rather than using an R8, I'm just going to use that Aux8. So I'm excited to try that.
And we're happy for that. We love making lots of money on all kinds of products, right? So, in fact, when I say we, I mean we.
Yeah.
You're going to be able to sell the solution that the customer is going to be willing to purchase and win more deals because you have more flexibility in what you can offer.
And I'm giving the right solution for the best price, right? It's always like we're always price conscious on trying to make sure what's the best solution for our clients, right? Because we want them to keep using us. We want them to have confidence in us. And when I can say, hey, I can do this cheaper this time because I have a better solution while still offer you all the same value, that's great for us. And it makes us look good and it helps us feel good. It's a win-win for everybody.
There you go. The Aux8 makes you look good and feel good.
In fact, again, the Swiss Army knife, he just described.
He described every use case of it.
I'm pulling out the fish scaler for this one, and I'm pulling out this thing, the corkscrew over here. And you never know what you're wanting to control in a way, and the Aux8's a lot of flexibility.
Absolutely. Guys, well, we are just about out of time
Yeah.
on this week's episode of the Big Access Podcast, but hopefully it was a very educational episode where you guys learned a lot more about what the Aux8 is and about everything that it's going to help deliver for you guys, our installation partners. But Matt, thank you so much for coming into the office today to talk to us about this new product. We're excited. Again, the Aux8 is now available. Go to your distribution partners and let them know that you want to see it. They'll have it ready for you to be able to check out, and we can go from there. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for jumping on. If you haven't already done so, be sure to subscribe to the podcast, leave it a 5-star rating, and then leave any comments that you might have. We're very interested in wanting to know what you guys want to learn. So thank you again for jumping on to the Big Access Podcast.